Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 4th of July 2025. So big bill and better payrolls prompt stock gains but dashes rate cut dreams. So rate cuts are off the table once more. Big week for big tech, big bill bond yields, Bitcoin and bets on rate cuts. Here's a summary of the week's events. A blowout June payrolls, 147,000 jobs, that is smashing expectations. Unemployment rate drops to 4.1% and US stocks gain and the dollar strengthened after the US jobs data top forecast ahead of Independence Day, which I was just going to come to, and as it's noted here, the US markets will be closed today. Stocks and dollar gain with bonds solid on NFP report, so it's the same thing all the way across the board, which means that obviously the markets have moved higher. No surprise there whatsoever. If you follow the market alert, you'll know this. There is no end to this bull market yet. There are no signs, there are no weaknesses, there is nothing at the moment to stop these markets from moving higher. And next week, of course, we head into the Trump tariffs, where you can expect to see more gains as the market settles from the pummeling that it received back in April when all of this started. So let's have a look at the markets and kick off with the Dow. So what a surprise, the market continuing to move higher, as we said for the last few weeks in the alerts, when we found support at the 50 EMA, momentum on the upside, and prices continue to move to the all-time high, which is currently at 45,077. We may just get to this because I noticed that we've got a bit of a crossover in the momentum. At the moment we've got a couple of orange diamonds there, which means we're starting to lose a bit of momentum, but probably not before until we hit the all-time high. Today is a good day to do this because despite the fact that the cash markets will be closed, the electronic trading platforms will be, and Europe will be trading as well. And if that's positive, then the Dow will be dragged up accordingly. So 30-minute chart for yesterday, market very quiet in the morning, non-farm payrolls, market spiked up, then came back down, and then the cash market bringing prices back up. Didn't get to the all-time high, but left a high behind of 44883 by the looks of things. Prices now sitting just below the DP. Watch the 50 EMA for some clues, and we're oversold on the downside as well. In the German DAX, not taking off just yet. The market up yesterday, but reversing overnight at the moment. Could see a bit more weakness there to begin with today's session. As you can see, yesterday we also had this couple of hours in. Then the market moved higher following the NFP numbers. And then overnight prices have pulled back around about 62% of the move that it made yesterday. There you go, golden ratio bang on the numbers there. So we could see a bit of support coming in at this level for the DAX there. And again, as we've seen for most of this week, we've had a rally before the markets opened. And when I mean before the markets opened, I mean the cash market. Pre-market futures moving higher, but at the moment we see prices sideways to lower there for the European markets. And in the S&P 500, guess what? Yes, we've got another all-time high market there at 6285, heading towards 6300 there for the S&P. Yesterday, you can see the market's reaction, just no surprises whatsoever. The biggest surprise will be when they allow the markets to actually find fair value and drop like a stone. That will be a surprise. There's no surprise the market's making new all-time highs and has done so since 2009. So again, market coming back to the DP overnight, needs to find support in order to move higher. The UK continuing to move creep higher, I suppose is the best word for this. And then in the 30-minute chart, you can see the market's reaction to the NFP numbers, and again drifting lower overnight there as well. Meanwhile, in the US dollar, yesterday this spiked up but couldn't hold, and then overnight prices are moving sideways to lower as well. So let's have a look at the metals market's reaction to this further weakness in the dollar. So kicking off with silver, an update yesterday. Let's just have a look, see where we are from the 37 high to where we are. We're at 89% of the last swing there. So you can see there, just right on the 89%. Just needs to take this out, and then what we want to see is this 37 and 30 taken out, $37.30. So we can move to the upside. 30-minute chart, well, nice slam with the NFP numbers, but the market regaining that overnight is still strong. And yesterday morning's takeoff, but what a surprise to see this not as they continue to try and manipulate the price of silver. In the gold market, this too, NFP numbers used as a shakeout. You can see the sell orders coming in there, but the market's back above the 50% return moving average and returning to the upside. There's again the slam with the NFP numbers, and then off we go. So the fact that the NFP numbers came out higher than forecast obviously means that there's no rate cut. If there's no rate cut, gold gets slammed, and so does silver. So that's what we're seeing there. So a quick look at the gold-silver ratio. So in the gold-silver ratio yesterday, gold came under more pressure than silver, and you can see that we double bottom there. We're trying to get back above this and hold the gold-silver ratio above the 90 level, or get back above 91 if they can. That seems to be the objective there. So have a look at yesterday's micro trading with the German DAX 2-minute. So in yesterday morning's market alert, which was uploaded before 7 a.m, I spoke about running the market up to the previous day's high, which is obviously Wednesday, and that's exactly what they did. And then when the market opened, we said we'll have a bit of a sale. They did. They moved the market all the way back down to the high. It temporarily found support at the high and then broke down to the 200 MA, where prices found a bit of support and then moved back to the upside. You can see the support there. You also see the lead low volume, and then a bit of buying back in just above the average line to move prices back above the high, as noted there, and then back up all the way to the high that was made when the market opened. So again, no surprise there. Then trading sideways and then moving back down once more to the high, back through the high, back to the 200 MA. Market then trying to move back up, but failing to do so. Now this is a pattern I've noted that seems to be happening in the German DAX in the sort of 9:30 to 10:30. The market wants to go back up, and then they just slam it to the downside like so. So just be aware of this one that seems to happen around that time. Nice trades beforehand, no complaints there whatsoever. Just that the one sort of half an hour before the cut-off to the morning trading session, prices are being slammed, and continued that way all the way down to the DP, then became quiet as we headed to the NFP numbers, and then of course these were released. Got a big move to the upside, over 100 points, and then prices trying to stay above the high from the previous day becoming very important. You can see that all the way through, and the 50 EMA, and then into the cash market afternoon the day before Independence Day. The market continuing to move to the upside quite nicely there. Then a bit of profit taking coming into the market, and all the way back down you see towards the high of Wednesday there. So there we go. A lot of activity yesterday. Great activity, to be honest with you. So let's hope for more of that today. But do keep in mind there is no US cash markets today. No bonds, nothing. It's like Thanksgiving Day, sort of 6 months apart, and the markets are unpredictable for those days. They tend to trade in one direction, whichever one they choose to start with, but there's a bit of weakness around at the moment. Let's have a quick look at where we are overnight, and again we can see this weakness here. We're below yesterday's high by some margin, and also closer to the low, which could be tested initially when the markets open at 8 a.m. So that's where we are at this time. Might get a bit of a run up in the futures to the 200 MA and DP, but I think there's going to be a bit of a pullback initially before prices then find support and then become quiet and move in the direction of whichever the electronic systems dominate during today, whether it's Europe or the US. Okay, that's it for this one and for this week. So have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine if you have any. and I will see you in Monday's edition of the Market Alert. And as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.